Okay, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you. Sorry, I was a little confused at the first. I thought maybe I had prepped for the wrong date, but gee, Firefly is something else, and we're going to take a look this morning at Midjourney. As has already been said, it's another AI imaging program. It's a generative artificial intelligence program created and hosted by Midjourney Inc. in San Francisco. Now, Midjourney is accessed, and as far as I know, this is the only way, is through the Discord server, which is free, but Midjourney itself requires a subscription. I subscribed for a year for $94. There is an iOS app for Discord, but I have not used it. Just a few words about Discord. It's all new to me, but it's a place where you can belong to a school club, a gaming group, a worldwide art community, and we'll see a little more about Discord as we go. Here's a little more about Discord. Discord is a invite-only home for your friends or community. You can join or create servers for all kinds of communities, book club, dance class, study group. And there are text channels and voice channels. Discord works in your browser, of course, and you are free to join Discord. And of course, there's a whole lot more on Discord than just Midjourney. It's actually an amazing place, sort of a Facebook for techies, but even a lot more than that. Here is a quick look at Midjourney inside of the Discord server. You can't see much here, and I'm going to skip this for now, and we'll come back to it if we have time. I want to get into my thoughts about Midjourney. Disclaimer. I am really a newbie at both Discord and Midjourney, just having tons of fun. And yes, this image was created by Midjourney. I wanted to be a little bit systematic. I wanted to pick an actual subject to show you this morning. Some of you remember the cover of the book that I published. My mother wrote a story about homesteading in New Mexico about 1900, and I published her story. And for the cover of the book, I worked with an artist. I hired him on Upworks. He was a Photoshop guy. And it was really fun working with him back and forth for about 3 weeks, seeing my rudimentary ideas appear with his talent. He charged me $600, and I was very satisfied with the work. And this week I thought, what if he or I were using a little echoey there. Okay, the following examples of Midjourney art are mostly from my book cover project. Midjourney, like some other AI programs, works with a prompt, backslash, and the word imagine, followed by your description. As is the case, the prompt is the secret sauce. In my slide, I put changes to the prompt in blue And if you'll watch for those changes, you'll more understand what I'm trying to show. Midjourney begins by creating 4 images based on the description you write after the prompt. Midjourney has been trained by looking at millions and millions of images and their description. So I'm going to demonstrate Midjourney using a simple design description of my book cover.
There's room echo from this, huh?
Slash imagine.
Mute myself somehow.
Little house, homestead claim about 1900. That is the prompt. That is my words simply typed in as text. And these are the first 4 images that Midjourney creates. Now then, I added pan right to the end of the prompt. And as you see, Midjourney filled in the right side of the pictures. I added pan down and Midjourney filled in the foreground. You can give it the command make variations and it will simply take the images that it has produced and give you variations of each one of them. There are strong variations and subtle variations. These are for strong variations. Now then, as you will see in the blue text, I have changed my prompt considerably because I didn't think it was going where I wanted to go. Now, truthfully, doesn't that just blow your mind? It does mine. I added the word cute for some reason. I added the word prairie, and then I changed some of the other words. And the last prompt was beautiful scenery. And as you see, this is more of what I had in mind. I asked for variations on those 4. I got these 4 images. I asked for variations again. And now I'm going to pick one of the images. I can never remember which one number I picked, but I'm going to pick one of the images by simply saying image number 3, and you get an enlarged picture. At any point here, you can save the file, and you'll get a PNG of from, I'd say 1.5 to 3 megabytes. So I saved this image, but there was something about this picture I didn't like. I didn't like the siding on the house. It looked a little too much like Home Depot. So fumbling around, I stuck in the word pine boards, and it completely changed everything. However, that was okay. I think I kind of liked here picture number 1, upper left. So I said, show me an enlarged view of image 1. And then I said, zoom out. And so it gives me 4 examples of number 1 with a zoomed out view, each one slightly different. I believe I picked number 2. Yeah, here's image number 2. And I asked for variations on that particular image. And here I believe I picked number 4. No, number 3. Still looking and trying different prompts. But at this point, I figured I'd left something out. So I added garden, horses, cows, chickens, and pens. And by George, Midjourney just came through. I just unimaginable to me what's going on here. Let's see. I think I picked well, let's see. I picked number 3. This had two things. I was going to, excuse me, two things. I was getting off track. The houses were too large and the scenery was too pretty. We're talking about homesteading in New Mexico in 1900. So, well, let's see. I did go and ask for variations again. And I picked, now I changed my prompt. I added very small prairie home, and I added the word barren but beautiful. And now I'm getting where I want to go. I really liked number 2, and I thought I could really use that picture. And I saved it, and I felt like I had accomplished what I started out to do. But I want to show you a few more examples. What if I asked for a photo view? So I stuck in photograph in front of my prompt. And you can see it is a photographic look. What about a color photograph? No problem. 4 pictures a la color photograph. I picked number 4. I asked for variations. And I picked number 2. So this was the second successful end of my search. I saved this picture. But then, just to show you other aspects of Midjourney, the power of the prompt words, I inserted at the very front pencil sketch. And I must say that would make a beautiful cover for a book about history. A pencil sketch would be, I think, great for the cover of a book. What if you wanted the vector art look? Well, a PNG is not a vector, and that's what you're going to get, but it simulates the vector look. Notice the clouds right down here and the birds, which are, they just have the vector characteristics. What about a watercolor? Sure, no problem. Okay, now a few other that I just had to show you. As you use Midjourney, if you're a newbie, you work in public rooms just for newbies. And you can learn a lot by just reading the prompts others have used and observing their images. I found a particular image that really intrigued me. I tried to imagine what the artist was thinking when he created this picture. And my thought was, he said, hey, I wonder what would happen if I just took the description of a place from a story I read and pasted it after the prompt in Midjourney. Okay, let's see what happened. Can Midjourney handle a complex prompt? I'll read you just a little bit of the prompt because I doubt you can read it. Let's see, let me get this. Well, anyway, put your foot, below there is nothing but hundreds and hundreds of meters. Some clouds flow. You can see below the bottom. This is the base of the city, a network that serves as a passage and support. Everything else, instead of rising sopra, is hanging below rope stairs, hammocks, sacked houses, coat racks, terraces. Just a very complex prompt. And I don't know if that's what he wanted, but Midjourney gave him something truly amazing to me. And then here's one more. You know, I love to make beautiful slideshows with Photomagico. Well, we attended a big family wedding this weekend, came home with loads of pictures. I needed a theme slide to use throughout the slideshow. So this was my prompt. Imagine ivory background, narrow border of flowers and vines, open center. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. First try is exactly what I wanted. Of course, I added the text in Photomagico. And if you want to see the video, there's the link at the bottom. Okay, back to the prompt, which is the secret sauce. That's where the learning comes in. Rich prompts, it's just an endless possibilities. Here's some examples of the things that you could put in the prompt and change. You could change the subject, a person, an animal, a character, a location. You could change the medium, a photograph, a painting, an illustration, a sculpture. You could change the environment, indoors, outdoors, on the moon, in Narnia. And Midjourney would know about in Narnia. The underwater, the Emerald City. Midjourney would know about the Emerald City. Lighting, soft, ambient, overcast, neon, studio. Color, of course, vibrant, desaturated, muted, bright, monochromatic. Atmosphere, a big one. Foggy, sunny, misty, cold, dirty, so forth. Mood, sedate, calm, dramatic, raucous, minimalist, energetic. Composition, portrait, macro, scan, headshot, close-up, bird's eye view. Style, and Midjourney would know a lot about art styles. Wes Anderson, minimalist, Van Gogh, anime, solar punk, gothic, and so forth. You get the idea. Here's one that I thought I just had to show you. You know how you might sometimes look at the bubbles in your Tuesday morning glass of beer and be 100% sure you see a face in there? Well, there's a word for that. Pareidolia. Pareidolia. The human mind's tendency to see faces in all sorts of inanimate objects. Well, it says if you use that in Midjourney, you'll end up with your subject looking a little bit like a face. Some results are way too wacky, but some can almost pass for a true instance of pareidolia. I just downloaded a 128-page document containing 140 prompts for Midjourney. What about one-word prompts? This is one that I stole off of Discord. The only prompt word was strata. Incidentally, when you save the file, your prompt words, at least most of them, are saved as part of the file name.
Wow.
Midjourney has a new blend prompt, just came out a couple of weeks ago, and I tried it one time. You are allowed to upload, incidentally, oh, okay. You're allowed to upload 1 to 4 images. And as a matter of fact, these can be URL images from the internet. But I had 2 JPEGs, and I uploaded these 2 pictures and gave the blend command. And there I am. Big as life. One more that I bet you wondered about. Yes, Midjourney knows about people. So here's Obama and LeBron James shaking hands at the airport. So where do we go from here? Is the role of the traditional artist gone? Will do-it-yourself art replace the traditional artist? The change to art in the new age of AI is amazingly analogous to the advent of photography. Many predicted photography would be the end of art, and photography is still not widely accepted as art. Will artists be called prompt artists or prompt engineers instead? Well, some are already practicing to fill these roles. This is probably in a skyscraper in downtown Dallas. You just walk in and talk to the guy, and he begins to produce these images for you. And he wows you with endless number, depending on your ideas. In fact, he'll give you so many ideas, you won't know which one to poo. Okay, Apple Core, do you have any questions?
Okay.
Ray, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you had it to do over again, would you have still paid the $600 or would you have gone Midjourney?
Honestly, I was really taken with one of those pictures. I really was. I think I might well have used that. Incidentally, I took some of those fairly small PNGs and put them through Topaz, enlarged them, cleaned them up a little bit, and so I certainly had a large enough file that it would print well. And I did wonder about that. Good question.
I forgot how to turn my mic on. I want to ask you a question.
I didn't hear that.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Discord, they have groups of people talking with something called genetic AI. Gen AI. With each other.
Paul, I'm going to jump into Discord for a few minutes.
Okay.
And I think, do I have some time left, Richard?
I believe so, yes. 15 minutes.
Okay, let me, Paul, maybe to answer your question, I didn't hear it well. Let me take a quick look and see if I can show you a little bit about Discord. Where's
I think he was talking about one of the channels being titled Generative AI.
I think it's genetic. Not
Let's see. I guess I have to get out of. I can't get to my. Oh, here we go. Okay, here's just over on the left are the different servers. Jonesy was kind enough to invite me to the Adobe Firefly over here. I'm in the upper left corner of the screen. This is Firefly. I'm playing around in Python. There's a lot of Python activity. And this is Midjourney. Now here's where you would add a server. And here you can explore discoverable servers, and there's jillions of them. But let's take a quick look inside of Midjourney. So here I'm in, here are the 2 newbie rooms. Well, there's 3 of them here. I'm in newbie room 145. And so people are in here prompting and getting pictures, and you can just scroll through and watch them, look at them, read their prompts, see the results they're getting, and you see them make changes in their prompt. Notice here that he has asked for a 16:9 picture, and I only learned that the last time I was on. You can get a different aspect ratio. Here are the upscale picture 1, upscale picture 2, variations, and let's see. Create an ultra realistic, hyper realistic, realistic 32K cinematic image captures a man working on his computer. There's nothing to lose, folks. Just give it a try. Why don't we try something here live? Somebody give me a prompt.
User group meeting.
Somebody learns to ride on a unicycle.
So we got a person learning to ride on a unicycle.
Okay. Let's say
Getting assist.
let's say old person
Hey.
learning to ride a unit. Here we go. Now, notice here at first it says waiting to start, if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're in a public room, to see your results, you have to scroll to the bottom as soon as that comes up. Aha, not too busy today. So my thing is coming up here. There it comes. Doesn't look like a unicycle, though. That's not what I call a unicycle. You have to go back to work on that. But there you are. You can open it in your browser to get a little better pic. Well, I don't know if it's any better. But let's pick, let's see, where did it go? Let's pick view 2. Scroll to the bottom. There he comes. Let's do very strong. Scroll to the bottom. Coming up. Now we're going to get 4 variations on that one that we chose.
So what is it?
It's
Why is it
learning
doing that?
while it's thinking, I guess. It's a temporary screen, show you it's thinking. I don't
It's
know.
building it pixel by pixel and pattern matching.
Oh.
Hey, I
I guess-
like those. I like those.
The
Yeah.
professor described it last time.
Okay. I'm really not yet comfortable inside of Discord. Better that Jonesy tells you more about it. But this is I'm amazed at how fast Discord is. There's so much going on in here. Just dozens and dozens of other communities in the background, and yet the server for the particular server that you're on seems very responsive to me. And let's see. Let me get back to my slideshow here.
If you're interested, Ray, we can start a server for the Apple Core in Discord.
I was going to suggest that, Jonesy. I sure would, because I just think it's one of the most interesting places right now, and I'm trying to learn. The messaging the messaging is a complete mystery to me. I've had some helpful messages, and I don't know where to read them.
Okay.
Let me
So,
You want to
oh,
tell something live?
all right, I've got an end here. Who is on Midjourney? Would you like to create an Apple Core server? Let us know. Jonesy and I, anyone else in the audience using Discord or Midjourney? Okay. All right. Finally, I leave you with this image, my very best one from Midjourney. And in it, I will reveal an entirely new Mac that we just may see on September the 12th. Read my prompt. See here, this is the new Mac right here. I'm convinced that Midjourney has advanced information on Midjourney.
kind of looks like if they made a Macintosh Classic out of aluminium.
Yeah, yeah. Retro.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks everybody for watching. I enjoyed doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
Good job, Ray.
So Ray, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'd like to play with librarians, asking questions and having this Midjourney visualize my questions so we can have fun doing research. I should like to do that. I have to subscribe to Midjourney? I don't remember.
If you can put them into words, Midjourney will give you something.
Okay,
It does require a subscription, Paul.
okay.
Yeah, you do have to have a subscription. And right now, Firefly does not, does it? It's a beta.
It's beta, but you still have to have an Adobe account.
Oh yeah, well, your $10 a month will get it for you. Right? So that's all I
I believe so for like some of the lower end tiers with Adobe. I want to say the Photoshop, or excuse me, the photography tier. It will probably be the lowest cost version
Yeah.
when it comes to Adobe's tier pricing.
$10.81 a month.
Hmm.
And
You always want the big one.
I especially enjoyed you're showing us about text. As far as I know, Midjourney does not handle text very well or at all. Either that or I haven't discovered it yet. And the vector art, that's going to be a big one.
I would agree, yes.
So back to Discord then.
Okay.
What exactly is that?
So Discord is group-based like chat rooms. And what's sort of neat about it is a server or a particular group can have multiple rooms. So you can even have like a general chat room, but then you can even have breakouts where you can have like very specific subjects that people can talk about. It also has the ability to do audio rooms, so you would be joining other people with your microphone, so you don't have to type everything out. So it's kind of like you can almost kind of think about it as like the evolution of the bulletin board, but everything's chatted live.
Why do they call it a server instead of just a chat room or chat room?
I think the reason they might call a server is that probably a better term would be group instead of server, but the biggest thing is that each server or each group can have actually multiple rooms.
It would really be ideal for a club.
Discord bots. There's something more with AI in the group talk. That maybe having conversations with an AI at the same time. You might be in the room.
Well, Discord can also implement AI. A lot of times that's used for kind of managing other people posting. So, for example, you can program it that if maybe someone's being unruly in a room, that it boots them out of that room, right? Or helps them out if they need help.
Explain invitation only. Explain that, Jonesy.
So there are some Discords that can be set up to where, like for example, if you're a paying member, that's the only way that you can actually get into the room. It has different ways to verify that you're paying to be part of that group. And you can also have it set to where the group may not be like public. So you actually have to know somebody or be specifically invited in order to be part of that group or the server, if you will.
I have a page up here, all right, and the brief on it is, it has a button in near center, invite this bot. It's 10 AI, and it's about Discord, all right? So I own a session, I think, if I could share this page, you could all look at it and see what the event, but the thing is, you join a group and invite a bot to come talk with you. What? We're all talking to each other. I'll share the page, but if you can show me how, you want to come over, somebody. On my screen, on my computer, and I'm in the meeting, I can share the screen. Come to me.
At the bottom, there should be a
I
share.
don't want to waste your time. You're better at this. Here's the screen. I'm going into Ring Central. No, the thing is, I am somehow. I can't figure out why.
If you go to ACD.US page and then click on the link.
Are you connected on your phone and not your laptop?
It might be.
Well, you won't be able to share from your phone. So go to the web.
I'm now on the email where you.
While they're working that out, for those of y'all, they're doing some IT stuff in the background. What I'll do this afternoon is I'll create a room that's Apple Core specific, and I can work to email everybody in the group how to get into it, and maybe like a quick little primer of how to download Discord, install it, and
Excellent.
how to maybe at least get started with it at least.
Yeah. Well, I find it a very welcoming environment, what little I've used it. In fact, there are lots of people just watching the newbies rooms. This is the way the Mid-Journey service set up. Lots of people watching the newbies room and trying to help them. And I've got to learn how to read the message.
Right. When a room gets very chatty, sometimes it gets hard to keep up with what's going on in that room.
Yeah.
But you are correct. Out of a lot of the different, I guess you would say, ways to be social on the internet, I've found that at least a lot of the rooms that I've been part of, Discord has been pretty welcoming, and I really haven't seen or had to deal with a lot of people that just are, riff-raff and all that fun stuff. Everyone has definitely been very supportive, depending on if you're in a group for graphics or art or, learning, I saw you had the Python programming. If you can think of a subject or an idea or a following, there's probably a Discord room out there for you.
If you're interested in knitting, I'll guarantee you there's a server on knitting. And the other thing is, I thought I did not see any, what would you say, off-color stuff in Mid-Journey. Now, people were certainly creating some beautiful pictures of women, some of them partially nude, but they were not in any way pornographic or anything like that. I didn't see anybody trying to do that, and I'm sure they would have been called down if they did. So I found it a very welcoming, non-chaotic environment.
Did Midjourney ever really say who they're sampling from, or where they're sampling the images from?
I haven't read that, Jonesy. I mean, I did read that somewhere, but I've forgotten it. They obviously, that was one place they had to start, and one advantage that Adobe had, certainly. But Mid-Journey must have had some source that they purchased, or, because it has learned, that LLM has sure learned a lot about art.
Sometimes Mid-Journey. Oh, that's a good question. So Taylor's question is, if you create something in Mid-Journey, do you have the rights to use it in your own work, or is it kind of like right now with Adobe where you can create it, but it's not for commercial use?
I have not read up on that, and I should. I know you can download it without any problem. There's no watermarks in it. But there may be a way to identify it as from Mid-Journey. It's just a PNG file, as far as I can see.
Right, it has some metadata.
Commercially, good question. I'll try to find that out. I've got a whole folder on Mid-Journey I haven't read yet.
Right.
I've got also, if anyone is interested, I do have I have a PDF file that had everything in it I needed to know to get started. I'll be glad to send it to anyone that'd like to have it.
Okay.
I can share my screen now to the group.
All right, Paul.
Now, show me what button I push from the Ring Central to share screen.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Was he talking to me?
Oh, no, sorry. So Paul is wanting to share a screen, and we're just still getting that handshaked out.
All right.
Definitely thanks for sharing Mid-Journey. It'll be something I'll probably be looking a little bit more into myself.
Thank you.
I do really like the prompting aspect of it, that you can kind of type in all the extra little things.
Discord, you were saying what it included, but is there anything that would let you design one with some type of a room that you can collaborate with a group of people on a project?
So the question was, what tools are out there for like collaborating on a project with others or design a project? So there's actually a couple different tools that are out there. Apple actually launched one recently. I believe it's called Whiteboard. One sec. I will admit I haven't used it a lot, but
yeah, I've got it up and running too. I haven't collaborated with it, but it's fairly simple. But
I'm trying to remember what it's called. I know that if you've updated to macOS Ventura, it was added as one of your applications.
yeah, see, here it is. It is. Where is it? Oh shoot! I guess I took it off.
I feel awful that I forgot the name of it. I didn't uninstall it. I'm pretty confident I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Freeform, excuse me.
Freeform, there you go.
Freeform. I don't know why I wanted to call it Whiteboard. But it's kind of like a let me. It's like a giant whiteboard. You can add text to it. You can draw on it. You could add pictures to it. You could drag and drop documents into it, like PDFs, spreadsheets, word processing, and collaborate with others. You also do have some collaboration tools that are built into Pages for word processing, Keynote for presentations, and Numbers for spreadsheets. You can actually invite other people, and what they can do is they can see your document. They can make changes to it if you allow them to. So it'll even show, Bob added a graphic or he changed the graphic on a document. You can even, believe it or not, collaborate in the Notes application. You can invite other people. So one really great example of that is I often share our grocery list. So essentially, I tell everyone that before I do a grocery run, put everything you want on that list, because if it's not there when I'm running around the grocery store, it ain't gonna get picked up. So I can see as people add stuff to that list, some of them are adding it while I'm there, but that's a whole nother story. And what's even cooler is I can highlight everything on the list and make it a check mark on it. So as I actually pull things and put in the basket, I can actually check it off on that list, and it on the other side, the people who are watching that list see as I'm checking things off live as well. So you do, depending on the application that you're in, there are some collaboration tools that are starting to be built in. I do believe Microsoft Office has a lot of built-in capabilities too. But as far as Apple stuff, you do have the Freeform Whiteboard, Pages, Keynote, Numbers, Notes, and there's probably a couple other ones there too. I want to say I think you can collaborate even in text edit too. So they're there.
That's cool.
Look.
Okay, we're connected.
Look.
All right.
Gen AI, and you can invite a bot. So you invite a bot to the room, I think, in Discord, and it'll talk with you and humans.
Okay.
And have conversations. I've been having conversations with bots, and they're very illuminating.
Very interesting. Discord does allow the ability to add some stuff to it as well, so you can kind of grow it and add to it as you see fit.
So that is a Discord server, Paul, that you were...
Huh?
That's a Discord server?
I don't know. It's just something that I'm Googling.
It looks like it might be like an add-on. You can add it into your server to add that capability.
I just found it now. Johnson
All right.
probably knows better. All right.
We're over our time, so the remaining time, we can just continue. You can do your Mac Help Desk sitting if you want to do that.
Okay.
But we have the room until 1 o'clock.
Okay. So we got about 40-ish minutes. So I will essentially just kind of open the mic to anyone that has any particular questions that are Mac related. Outside of probably, if you all haven't been watching the news, September 12th is Apple's Wanderlust event. It's a very interesting title, but we're expected that Apple will be obviously releasing new iPhones. That's usually the big to-do. I will admit I'm very interested in upgrading because my phone is starting to show its age a little bit. The battery doesn't last a whole day anymore. And I've been hearing a lot of good things that we might have some really nice cameras upgraded on the 15 Pro and the Max as well. Yeah.
All the real good stuff's going to be in the Pro model.
You can have a 3D camera released
More and more.
Right. As Paul was saying, they're already 15's not even out. They're already talking about 16. I always tell people, if you are always waiting for the next model when it comes to Apple products based on the rumors, you will always be waiting on the next product. So there are
3D camera now.
Yeah, there are just times where you just got to pull the trigger and just get it over with, rip the Band-Aid off. As far as like other products being updated release, we might see iPads. I have a feeling as we kind of are eventually will be making the transition to the M3 processors, we may not actually see anything MacBook or iMac related. I'm not really holding my breath on desktops, but again, you never know. But that will probably be the big to-do on the 12th is definitely the new iPhones, the new Apple Watch. The bigger things when it comes to iPhone would be that the Thunderbolt, not Thunderbolt, the Lightning dock will be replaced with either USB-C or Thunderbolt instead. Ray.
I was just going to interject something. For people that are budget bound, I think everyone needs to know that for most of us, a refurbished or a used M1 laptop is mostly all you're going to need if you're looking for a desktop or a laptop. The M1s, the price is down, and they're just great machines. I'm using one. I don't even lust for an M2 because all I need. I do lust for a new iPhone, though.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm still rocking an M1 Mac myself. It's been really versatile. It's really amazing how many things I can throw at it simultaneously, and it never seems to bog down. It's very rare that I have any